So when I was younger, I ended up making fitness a game, right? So what I did was I'll wake up. As soon as I woke up in the morning, I would just drop down and just get some push-ups in. So I would hit them joints, right? I would find the max number that I could do, and I would just keep that shit in my mind for the rest of the day. Same with pull-ups. That same morning, what I would do was I would go hit the pull-up bar and I would find the maximum number that I could do. And I think that I only did like 3 pull-ups, maybe 2 pull-ups. I started off being able to do two. Actually, I put this on my soul. I could only do 2 pull-ups. Same with push-ups. I think that maybe I could do 10. For a brief period, I would do push-ups off the wall because I could barely do 10 push-ups. I made it a game and I'd be tired and exhausted. And then I would try and attempt it again before bed. So before bed, what I did was I would attempt the same amount of push-ups, except the game was I would lose if I did less than 10 push-ups. If I did less than the push-ups that I just did. If I did 10 push-ups, then I didn't lose. If I did 11 push-ups, then I won. Same with pull-ups. I could only do 2 pull-ups. But if I could do just 2 pull-ups, just like I did that morning, I didn't lose the game. But if I did 3 pull-ups, I won the game. But I'd lose the game if I only did one. And that mindset was, I think it was like the foundation of how I perceive fitness. It was the foundation of how I actually have my method of growth for the entirety of my fitness career. For those of you guys who don't know me, who are new to this channel, I'm Chike. I'm just a guy who's been consistent for 8 years, 9 years. I've been obsessed with fitness. Maybe not obsessed, but I've loved it since I was roughly 14, 15 years old. That's when I started resistance training and getting into the gym. And I've never broke consistency. I'm just a guy who believes all men should just be strong, that guys should just build muscle. So I made this channel to go ahead and help you guys out. But what I want to get into is how to not think like the 99% of people. The 99% of people look at fitness and they want to see how big they're getting. They're the type of guys who are got the fucking tape measure and shit, and they're measuring their biceps and trying to see how much bigger they got that morning. They're the guys who are measuring their chest or trying to measure their waistline to see if anything changed. And that's honestly pretty retarded to do in your fitness career. Why? Because you're not gonna see changes like that. You just ain't finna see that. I know there's a big difference between me now sitting at, I did lose a little weight, but I'm sitting at 191. There's difference from me now, 191 at 6'1", and me at the age of 17, 18, 19, 20. How do I know that? Because my performance changed. Me at 17, 18, 19 couldn't bench 315, couldn't do 70 push-ups in 45 seconds. The me then couldn't do 5 pull-ups with 90 extra pounds attached to my waist with 245 plates taken off of me. Couldn't do 30 pull-ups. I know I'm throwing these records at you like I'm trying to flex, and I low-key kind of am, just to shed some credibility on my name. But my point is fuck the workouts, fuck the workouts, fuck the split, fuck all that stuff. Pure mindset. You need to find out what sort of retard you are. You got to find out what sort of autistic person you are. Are you the autistic person worried about his bicep size and all this stuff and the abs and looks? I get it, but it's not efficient. You want to be the autistic person to figure out how much weight can I add to my crunches when I do crunches? How much weight can I add to my pull-ups? How many pull-ups can I do? How many push-ups can I do? Focus on your muscular performance. I guarantee you, when you see jacked guys in the gym just like me, do you think that they're actually like worried about how they look? Think about it. Yes, you have bodybuilders who are worried about how they look. It is their job. But how do they go about worrying about those things? They're measuring their performance. They set up a certain type of training style, whether it's hypertrophy or strength building, and then they attack it by checking the metrics. But even then, it's like they're so advanced and you're a beginner, you don't even need to worry about that. You need to attack your muscles by checking the metrics. You need to be obsessed with beating your records. The 99% of people are too focused on, oh, how do I look? How do my biceps look? Is my chest bigger? Or if you're a shoddy, oh, is my ass fatter? Is my waist slimmer? But the 1%, the actual truly Elon Musk level autistic smart people who are making progress in the gym, they're the 1% who think about how much weight am I putting up? Because guess what? This is the fact of the matter. This is the reality. of fitness in life. If you get stronger, you will get bigger. It doesn't matter if you train strength. It doesn't matter if you train hypertrophy. Your muscles do grow because guess what? Your muscles cannot handle damage and don't recover from damage and stay the same size. Your body just does not do that. Your body does not recover from damage and stay the exact same size. When the hormones that are released that are going to send protein repairmen to repair the cells in your muscles that you just sent to Helheim, guess what's going to happen? They finna come back bigger. Think about this analogy. If a house gets blown down and destroyed, obviously it lives in Florida. Let's say this house gets blown down and destroyed and builders repair it. Do you think it makes sense to repair the house with the exact same level of strength and structure that it did when it got blown the fuck down? No, no, you build it up stronger. And that's what your muscle cells do. So don't be like the 99% who are worried about size. Your body gonna do its job. Don't worry about what protein's doing. Let protein do its job. Stop harassing it. Focus on the performance that you're doing. Focus on how it is that your muscles perform because when you focus on size, you slow down your progress. Progress is always faster when you can measure it. The best way to measure progress is through metrics of performance rather than your size. The reason that you're so focused on size and how you look is because you're those type of guys that expect results too damn fast. You want results tomorrow. You want results next week. Sometimes you gotta wait 2 months. I know I say in my videos, you give it a month of consistency and you'll see changes. I still believe that's true. But sometimes that's not for you. Sometimes you have to wait 2 months. But you're one of those guys that want to see shit fast. Like those people that look up on YouTube, top 10 ways to make money fast. What the fuck? Like, no, bro. Like, even when it comes down to YouTube, how to get subscribers fast. There ain't no such thing. There ain't no such thing. It's script, record, push out the work. That's what it is. Same thing with the gym. Get stronger. Make sure that your performance is getting better. You lose in the gym by doing less than what you did before. Unless you're doing something scientific like a recovery, like your recovery, you're on a recovery week, which that's a completely different topic, then you should always be trying to move up. And that's where nutrition and protein comes in and all these different things where it comes down to, okay, are you eating properly? Because if you're not increasing in performance, then your muscles probably aren't getting bigger and you're just stressing them out and they're not repairing properly. You have to get the right protein and the right nutrients in and etc. But the point is I'm trying to encourage you to find different ways to track your workouts. Focus on the power, how much weight you're doing. Focus on the reps, how many of those reps you're doing. Or if you're a distance runner, if you're trying to burn weight or burn fat or whatever, focus on the distance. Focus on the time intervals that you've applied to your workout. And most importantly, don't be the guy who's ashamed of his workouts and his records. I hear this all the time in the gym with friends who want to get into the gym. They'll be insecure about how much weight they do. You don't have the right to sit up here and be ashamed of how much weight you do in the gym. You have not been going to the gym. Of course, you're not finna have no damn strong record because there are people I don't understand these guys. I don't understand it because they'll sit up here and say, I'm just really not as strong as the other people in the gym and it just discouraged me. So I just kind of stopped going. What sense does that make? That's like I know I'm assuming most of my audience is male, and I'm assuming that y'all is probably gamers, right? If you boot up the game, let's say you boot up 2K, if you get in the game and you see other characters and you see that they're stronger than you and you're at a low level because you just created your character or you just created your team, what sense does it make to sit up here and say, damn, I see how that I'm at such a low level, I'm finna get out the game? That shit makes absolutely no sense. It makes no sense. Obviously, you'd be motivated to you wouldn't do that. You would be motivated to stay on the game and grind to get to that level. But people will do that for a video game, but they don't do that for themselves. So if you're one of those guys that are discouraged, I'm just gonna let you know. First of all, focus on yourself, stop caring, be in love with the fact that damn, like this is me, this is what I got. Because if you're doing 15 pounds on dumbbell bench press, yeah, you're weak as shit. But when you hit 20 pounds or when you hit higher reps for that same weight, you're at least this is for me. I got addicted when I first got that extra rep. I'm like, this is progress. This is something that I could track. You get addicted to it. You're like, damn, I actually did more. I'm becoming a stronger, more capable human being. That should keep you going. If you have a healthy understanding and perspective towards fitness, the little incremental changes and improvements that you make should motivate you to keep going. it should make you want to do more. And most of all, and last of all, when guys like us see you in the gym trying to do more weight and we see you actually improving yourself and improving your performance, we end up respecting you. But point is of this video, 99% of people focus on size. Be like the top 1% who focus on performance. If you want to learn more, go ahead, click on this video. Goodbye.